ads last night. So what's up? What's up, you guys? David Fox here, the Black Belt Realtor, with another episode of Keeping It Real Estate Podcast. We have our broker Jordan Bobbitt. Jordan, how are we doing this morning?
Doing good.
And of course, our associate broker Jerry. Jerry Bobbitt.
Rub it in every day.
I will every time.
Good morning, guys.
So we're back from a little bit of a break, and I just want to say right off the rip, it's overcast here in Michigan, and Jerry actually just pointed out when it's raining, it affects the Wi-Fi. I never really noticed that.
Okay, Jordan just pulled out the phone. He's checking to make sure.
Know.
What is is there any data to support that? Other than lived experience is enough. You. Hey, I have, I guess now that you're saying it, I was like, I guess I do notice it. But if we glitch out or audio kind of crinkles a little bit, just kind of stay with us. And
Dave's got a computer from 1978.
It's not bad, man. It's a Mac. It's an old Mac. I mean, it's probably 2019, 2018. So. What year is it? 2026? Yeah, it's older. Yeah, that's old for a Mac. Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, it's 2026. So it's pretty old. It's probably due for a refresh. You guys got any tales from the trenches? I have quite a few. But any tales from the trenches this week that you got going on?
I don't think we had any really that I can share.
You had your.
Yeah, that's why I said that I can share.
Well, I'll share.
No, not mine.
Oh,
I gotta know what's the story.
I guess he won't share.
Okay?
I almost lost a client. We had to have a phone call. I mean, I just don't.
Okay, all right, yeah. I definitely don't. I don't want it to go live and then actually cost you a client.
But he didn't, and that's what's important.
So okay, all right. Well then, I'll share mine a little bit. This is kind of crazy. I had that same couple. They're looking. So this is what I like is maybe I take the wrong approach. You guys let me know your approach on this. Whenever someone's like, I want to go hunt for a house or whatever, and we need a house. I knew they needed to move. Okay, growing family, they needed to move. But they're like, well, we want this next house to be our forever home. Which is a theory I don't subscribe to. I don't subscribe to a forever home because you can have like a home, like my quote unquote, if you're like Fox, you need to choose a home right now. That's not going to be the home that I'm retiring. I mean, like I'm thinking of you as a perfect example. A home that I'm going to raise a family in may not be the estate that I want to keep up at 70 years old. Less maybe
or 56
or whatever. I was going to say 60, but I was like, so I intentionally exaggerated because I was like, I don't think he's 60. So, but the point being, like, it serves you a purpose at that point in time, right? And so they start off, they're like, well, I want hunting property, I want acreage, I want a big barn, I was like, and like everything they added was like $100,000 or $150,000, and I was like, okay, what's the budget? And they're like, well, four.
That's not unattainable.
I mean, they wanted like property, and they wanted like a pole barn, and they wanted it, and here was the kicker.
They want it moving condition.
I would say
they wanted it updated.
That's not
right. Yeah. So that and then and I think to add to it, they wanted Monroe County, or they found out that they wanted Monroe County, and that
smart move.
It bumps the price a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it does, but the further out you go, like from the city, it does get cheaper.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You go out to your hood.
Yep.
It's a lot cheaper than if you're at my hood, right? Well, yeah, because from your place to get to our office would be how long?
35, 40 minutes.
Compared to 12 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
And then I can get to Detroit in 25. I can get to, Ann Arbor in 35. I can get to Toledo in 30 minutes.
Anywhere. From LaSalle, anywhere is half hour.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Unless you want to, be in the outskirts of Toledo.
So it really depends. If they're willing to go out further into Monroe County, then the answer is possibly. But if you're really wanting to say convenient to modern conveniences, I mean, it's location.
Of course,
right?
Yeah. And so we reached, they sent me a few. This was interesting. And this was so we sent them out, and I said, hey, all right, let's go shop. And this was the one, my fault. We started searching out like Chelsea, Jackson area. And we drive out to I don't care. I hunt out in Jackson. It's fine. we get out there, and we're in the driveway, and she's like, "This isn't gonna work." And I love this couple, right? I was like, "Why not?" She's like, "There's a cemetery across the street," and I was like, "Man, if only we had Google Mapped this for like." So we showed them the house, and we kept. But then as they kept searching, they realized that look to really buy the house that they wanted was like $700,000, right? Maybe $625, but it was certainly more than they were looking for. And so they're like, well, we just need for this next stage. So then as they started looking, and we narrowed it down over months. This is probably since September, and so they sent me a couple in Monroe, and one was it was okay. But it was just like kind of lived in a little dated. And then there was another one that they sent for sale by owner. And the pictures it was cluttered, and the pictures didn't do it justice. And they're like, well, I guess we'll just go view this one to by comparison to make the MLS one look better. They ended up loving the for sale by owner. So I talked to and that was a situation where like the sellers they were actually in the family selling the house, and my whole thing is I try to buddy up with if they're there, because for sale by owner they usually, not always, a lot of times they think they know better anyway. So like they feel like they're biometrically opposed, and I don't want it to be this like kind of power struggle. So I'm like, hey, lovely house, whatever. I don't talk money. I don't talk anything, and then we ended up, getting under contract, putting an offer, and come to find out the buyer is like loosely related to the seller. So, but not like brother, sister, not like brother, sister, like
distant
a
cousin.
couple times removed. Yeah. So it's going well. And they accepted. What was nice is they accepted a contingent offer, which is
that's nice.
Tough, bro. Like that. That's been the biggest hurdle. What you guys? What's your stance if you're listing, accepting contingent offers? Like, it just
depends.
Each situation varies.
Yeah, I mean, do I have other offers? I mean, because obviously, if I have two similar offers and one doesn't, one isn't contingent, then I'm going with the non-contingent one. But I mean, if we've been on the market for a week or two, and it's a strong offer, even though it is contingent, it's across the board, it's still a strong offer, and then my next question is, okay, where's your house at?
Can you clarify? I'm sorry, I didn't clarify. What is a contingent offer?
Contingent offer is, hey, I'm looking to buy a house, but I need to make sure my house sells first before I can move forward with the purchase on my next house. So I've got a house for sale, and that's what I was leading into, is for my next question to that agent is, okay, where's the house at? Because there's some agents, oh, well, the house isn't even listed yet. Well, then why are you calling me? Like, why is this even a conversation?
Sure.
Because that's a heck no, generally. But if they said, oh, house is listed, we've got offers, or we're already under contract, well, now you've eased my worries a little bit, because I know, okay, well, the inspection's already been done, or the appraisal's already been done, or they've got multiple offers. So at least now I know, okay, they're starting the process.
Yeah.
But for the people who said, oh, we're not listed yet,
we weren't technically listed.
Yeah.
At the time of the house, but it was like it was being listed. Like we had pictures,
Yeah.
we had pictures, and they needed. If we were under contract that day, they needed every minute of 30 days to get it. Like probably 45, and it was like, and so it was hyper situational, and I think it helped us because looking past all the clutter of the estate sale, like a lot of people aren't going to really like. That's tough to see past, and we're talking like those crazy Chucky dolls from the 50s or whatever, like a lot of crazy stuff. But it was, talk about great bones, dude. Poured a foundation. He built an addition and poured a foundation for the addition too. He spent some money on this addition, dude. It's a lot.
One thing you had going for you being a for sale by owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they accepted the contingency without that house even being listed yet. Because like Jordan said, most agents would have been like, yeah, that until you get your house at least listed, because I want to know what you're going to list it for as well.
Yeah.
If it's a great house, but you have it $50,000 overpriced, then that's a big red flag.
Yeah. No, and they in that situation they were her friend. They were being advised by a lawyer realtor.
That's scary.
So they were, well, I mean, it was okay. Like, because she kept, I think I took the friend approach, right? I'm not here to steal anything from you. We're not here to cut your throat on it. I just told them the facts. I was like, they need to sell this house to buy yours. I mean, literally, they're pre-approval. Like they wouldn't even have the banking for it. So, and then, but it worked out pretty well. And then they, it's always the benefit there is that it's a scary thing, but when the seller can meet they kind of see who that is. What is there's no rules against that. Against seller meeting buyer.
Oh, none.
It's just a lot of times it can be like
it can
be a cluster a little bit.
Well,
right?
it can be because
it can open up a can of worms.
Yeah, it can potentially be a cluster because again, I'll just go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. Give me tales from the trenches. Ted, give me an example of how it went.
Well, how it can go south is you come in with your buyer seller or your buyers. My seller sees them. Jordan comes in with his buyers. My seller sees them. And then all of a sudden, my seller doesn't want to sell to your clients for a certain reason. Mm-hmm. That could be a protected class.
Yep.
It could be anything from a handicap status.
Yep.
To
kids, I don't want kids.
familial status, to color of the skin, to religion, ethnic backgrounds. I mean, all those are protected backgrounds. And I mean, let's go back.
Even now, sexual orientation. Right?
Sexual orientation.
So if you got, I mean, if you've got, one guy. Well, I guess that's a protected. I was gonna say one guy wearing a cross, the other guy wearing a rainbow, like it.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Either one then
are protected classes. Yeah. So it's difficult because I mean I've been doing this for 34 years now, whatever, and there were times where people were, and it was we didn't look at it as a negative or a protected class, though it was back 30 years ago. Jordan would come in and be. Because if you remember 30 years ago, we would actually present offers. The other side, the buyer's agent would present it to my clients. So we would sit at a table like this, and I would sit here, my buyer or my seller would sit here, and Jordan would sit here, and he's going to present his offer to me and my clients. And he would, throw the offer over to them and to myself.
What? Wait, hang on.
That was the way it went. So every offer.
Wait a second. So you would... When you would present an offer, like you represent me.
Yep.
Okay,
if you were my seller.
So you're helping me sell my house.
Correct.
And
he's
the end buyer. You're the buyer's agent.
He's the buyer's agent. Jordan would show up.
Do you have your client with you?
No. Okay. We hardly ever did that.
Okay. All right.
But Jordan would show up. Jordan would give me the offer, give you the offer, and then he would present his offer.
Why would you do it in person?
I think you should do it that way.
Because it was the 80s?
No, because I could present my offer in my story, right? I'll play devil's advocate now.
Yeah.
I'm the buyer's agent, and Jordan is your agent, and you're the seller, right? Jordan might call me and say, "Hey, just let you know, we've got 3 other offers. We're going to present offers at 5:00. I got you going at 5. Somebody else going at 5:15. Somebody else going at 5:30." Whatever. Okay, so we got 3 offers going in. 5, 5:15, 5:30. Jerry's going to show up a little late because I want to be last. So I'm going to let the other 2 agents go first. Sorry. I'm going to show up last. I'm going to present my offer. And I'm going to say, "Hey, Dave, here's my offer. Jordan, here's my offer. We're coming in at 220. I've got, again, you have to remember, this is back in the day, right? Because we didn't have modern conveniences of what we had right now. I would, in my briefcase, have another offer or a blank offer in my briefcase, and my client would say, "Jerry, you have authority to go up to 250 if we have to," right? It's listed at 250. We'll go up to 250 if we have to. So I'd give you the offer at 220. Jordan, the offer at 220. Jordan would say, "Well, we got offers out there for 225 and 230." And I would say, "Okay."
Is that all it takes? Is 235 to take it?
And that was it, right? So what you're telling me is if I came in right now at 235, everything else is good? And they're like, They look at each other. Yeah. Now, okay. So if I gave you 235, we're good.
See,
I pull up my offer at 235. Write it down. There we go. Let's get this done.
I do like. How often do you come across? I mean, they legally can't do this, but how often do you come across where the agent is not fully representing the seller?
Oh, I think it happens more. I think it's more often than not.
I think it's I really like, and because how it went with this deal, right, was, I mean, like, obviously my buyer was there, and they were and I first off, I instructed him. I said, okay, hang on. Talk to them about compliment them on their house. Say whatever you want. Anything about the deal, offer, contingency, leave that to me. So I'm going to let you guys talk, right? Do your thing. I don't care. Make friends. It's probably going to help you. But anything about the deal, let me handle. And I like being able, because then the agent, sometimes an agent, I feel like, can kill a deal, because they're like, whoa, and they try to be like, yeah, Al Capone status, and the seller was happy with the offer, right? And so if you present it, like, I think that could go a long way. How much of a story, you mentioned your story, bro, I bet your storytelling's had to change over 30 years, hasn't it? Like, as far as what you can say or can't say, and how you outline it.
No, in reality, it was, like you said, just getting on the same page as that person across from me. Find something in common that we connected on, whether it be sports, right? If he was wearing a Red Wings, because you remember Red Wings, especially during that period of time.
Dude, that was, even I watched hockey.
Everybody had Red Wing fever. And so we were all talking. So if you brought up Red Wings, we were talking Red Wings for 15 minutes before we even got into the deal. If he came in on a Harley, I was talking motorcycles with him. If he came in a sports car, I was talking sports cars.
That's just sales, though.
It is. And this is where, but in today's, and think about today, I would venture to say 80% of all agents have no sales technique.
Yeah, if you started implementing more sales things, like, or I won't say sales things, but where your personable, person-to-person, quick on your feet sales was needed, most agents would fail miserably.
And this happened. Yeah, and this happened a lot during the crisis, the collapse in real estate in 04.
What happened a lot?
That's when the industry changed from presenting to don't present to the other agent. You just faxed it, emailed it, did whatever, right? See. And the reason for that was they were all bank owned. We had nobody to present offers to.
That's funny.
So that's when it started to change.
Oh yeah, and there was a lot of those.
And it was a big joke with agents that had been successful during or prior to, compared to the bank age, because you had these agents coming in that didn't have the experience prior to. And they were successful bank agents, and we all joked and said, "Yeah, but as soon as you start going back to face to face and having to actually negotiate with real people, you're done." And every one of them are done. They're all gone. Every one of them that were successful during that bank age are gone. They just the reason they were successful is they had the contacts. That was the reason they were successful. So you don't see any of them around anymore. But to me, being able to negotiate, being able to sit there and say, "Okay, what's your motivating factor?
Yeah.
Why do you have to sell?"
I mean,
what's important to
you? Just because, and I take this. This has gotten me really far. It feels like it's gotten me far. It hasn't gotten me new clients, but it has gotten me rapport with agents and the sellers and the buyers as well. Because if your mindset is, all right, it's time to go to war. A lot of people think negotiating is good. Negotiating should be a win-win. Should chase a win-win. Mr. Seller, right? No matter who I'm representing. And a lot of times I'll call and say, hey, we want to write an offer. I want to make it as attractive as possible. What's important to your seller?
Yeah, what's their motivating factor?
What's important to them? And more often than that, it's really just price. Okay, so if we take it over immediately, well, they might.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's an agent that really doesn't know their client.
They might,
right?
Yeah,
because if you ask me that, I'm going to say, hey, they're having a house built. It's not going to be done until July, so we need to either do a delayed closing, or I need occupancy. Right. However you want to structure that, there's always more than one way to skin the cat. Yeah. I don't know your clients now. So how would you want to move from there? Yeah. But know that we're not going to have that house done until July.
Yeah, I would say perfect example is like my vacant land. I mean, we took I don't say we took less offer. Offer is honestly really solid, but we took less than list price because they were willing to do a lot of things.
What did it sell yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Did it?
Well, it's pending.
What was it listed for?
It's pending.
120.
Oh, okay. It was 120. I had 20 in my head. I was like, why'd you take less than $20,000? You're not touching anything. You can't get a beater for $20,000. Okay. 120. Yeah.
But on the inside, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be left that he was going to probably cost him either a decent chunk of change to hire some people to get it out, or even just a dumpster at minimum.
Yeah.
And hours of work.
Yeah.
And they were like, nope, we'll take care of it. And he is like, cool. Good, off my plate. Yeah. I'll take a little bit less because you're going to take that headache from me.
There's value too. I mean, you could do value. You could say, hey, you know what? We'll take care of city inspection, which didn't apply here, right? They will take care of. I mean, there's just plenty of ways to value add. If you can't get creative, man, like, because that's the whole. And I think here is what I will say. Like we at this table and a lot in the industry, we assume, right? Because the whole argument of like, agents aren't needed. That is an embellishment of the average IQ and ability to make a deal. Like that is the general I mean, there's not just the know-how of the deal. We're in the information age. You can Google that. You can chat that. But a personality conflict can and will kill a deal regularly to the point of
but it can also save a deal.
True.
It can in a positive aspect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
of course.
saying.
Absolutely. Yeah. It can. Yeah. So but the people who want to treat it transactionally, I believe it's a wrong approach. And I can still, it doesn't have to be either or. People say, oh, well, you're not looking out for your client's best interest. If I'm not trying to slit the seller's throat? I vehemently disagree. Yeah. Like if it got him under contract, didn't it? If I was like, we're coming in at, I don't know, 20% under ask.
Yeah. I mean, the problem, the most people saying that real estate agents aren't needed. I've seen a lot of wholesalers talk like that, and they're trying to push this because then they just want the wholesale. But if you really break it down, and I'm going to make a video about this, but it's funny because when you break it down, wholesalers get paid more than agents do, and their entire job is to just screw you and make the most money. That's it.
The model goes away. The model goes away, and I like that we talked about this whenever it was last pod. Like, that document, whatever it says, is like, hey, seller, you're being taken. Like, you're leaving $60,000. Is it going to have numbers on it?
We don't know yet.
My guess is it's not going to have numbers because that's going to be arbitrary, right? Is it 60? Is it 50? Is it 40? Is it 70?
Percentages?
Dollar-wise.
Is it going to have anything?
I don't know.
I think it's just going to say you are aware that you're being taken advantage of, and I'm using that word, but it's probably going to say something to the effect of, the seller is aware that the house is being sold under value. I
would add dramatically undervalue.
Yeah.
I would say really quick though, going back to the having agents on the other side kill deals. I mean, I had one we put in with an escalation clause and an appraisal guarantee. Wow. It was an open house, really packed, so we knew we had to come in strong. And 2 days later, they're like, "Oh, we want another offer," and I'm like, "Man, we put in a really good offer. I wonder what they took."
So you put in an offer? I'm guessing at list.
Above. Yeah, above.
Wow.
We went. I think it was listed at 225, and we went up to almost 250. It was like 250
with an appraisal guarantee.
With an appraisal guarantee.
That's for the okay. Just for someone understanding that, you offered 10% over asking price with an appraisal guarantee. So saying like it, if it doesn't appraise,
I think it was $10,000.
We're gonna come up with $10,000 out of pocket.
Yeah.
What did I gotta know?
So
what did they accept?
So we're trying to figure out, okay, what the heck happened? Like, we thought we were gonna just get this one for sure. Mm-hmm. We knew somebody who knew the owner, and the owner was elderly. They needed help, and this person was actually helping them during the process. So we're like, hey, so and so, the offer that got accepted. How did we not get accepted? Because I just want to know how, did I get beat? What did I miss? And they're like, well, we accepted this. And I'm like, what do you mean you accepted that? Like, I came in above that.
Has it closed?
Oh, this was like years ago.
So what did they accept?
I don't. It was, like I said, it was a few years ago.
Significantly
it was
less
less
than your offer.
And the agent was just like, "Oh, I didn't see you had the escalation clause. I just looked at your sales price." They didn't even know that we had that offer in.
See, I will when I send offers.
Caveat: they knew they sold within the office, so I think they knew that the offer was there with the correct price.
What's the benefit to selling within the office?
I helped my buddy out in the office. They got the buyer. And
How can you? I like you, Jordan, but if it comes down to selling or costing my seller now $15,000, I don't like you.
Well, your license.
I don't like you enough to cost my license. Absolutely. That's crazy.
And here's the problem that most people don't understand.
Yeah. Now see, like this is a table full of realtors who are annoyed and frustrated with other realtors. Like that. Yeah. That's unethical, dude. Like, how can you?
It's illegal. It goes beyond unethical.
Yeah, how can you say that?
So, here's the problem. One, can I say anything? Maybe. Now I got to go.
Watch me.
Yeah.
Y'all getting a Facebook video made out of you right now.
Yeah. Well,
with your picture.
The problem is that this was a very well-known agent in the area, respected.
Even better.
And it's one of those, if I do file an ethics complaint, you got to put your name on it. And two, the buyer didn't want anything to do with it. And that's ultimately what a lot of time it comes down to. If the buyer doesn't want to complain or move forward with a complaint, what? So you're going to...
There has to be a damaged party. And if the damaged party is not willing to file
that's what I'm learning.
That's
right?
the problem.
That's what I'm learning.
Another problem is you have to have a damaged party willing to do all of this.
What does damaged party mean?
It could be financial or in some other way.
Emotional.
So like in Jordan's part.
Oh, emotional damage does count.
Well, like in Jordan's.
By proving it in court. I mean, ultimately.
But in Jordan's case, the damage was they weren't able to get the house. Yeah. Right? There was no financial damage. Yeah. They just didn't get the house that they wanted. You can file the complaint. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen? And this is the problem.
What did you come out of? How did it cost you money?
Oopsies, no. I made a mistake. I didn't see it.
If Jordan were to file the complaint because his buyer wanted to file a complaint, if they file a complaint, they go to the board. They do everything they need to. They take their day off work because they've got to go to an arbitration hearing or a grievance hearing in this case. Sorry. Then what ends up happening?
Don't do it.
Don't do it again. Take a 2-hour class on fill in your blank. And was it worth it at the end of the day?
Do I know this agent? Do I know him?
They're older, probably. Now, I don't even know if they're still in the business. But
so unfortunately, a lot of times it's just not worth it in some of the cases. That could be a whole podcast in and of itself on agents doing unethical things. And you drive by it every day on 275. On their billboards.
Yeah.
We got to dive into the actual podcast.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that was helpful, because that was a real actual thing. Let's see what we got here. So I'm going to pull up, where is,
while you're doing that though,
Beth Baker Menard says, sorry, don't blame her. No cemetery across from the street. Let's see. There's Jerry.
But no, while we're waiting, that's why I think we should go back to the proposing offers for our age or for our clients, because then that mix up, if you even want to call it a mix up, would have never happened. Their client would have been there.
Yeah, you could never do that because I was sitting there face to face with you.
Well, I a lot of times when I send offers over, two things. I will because do you know the amount of times that they just don't read the PA.
That's why they want their offer.
They're like, oh, I didn't. Yeah,
because they're too lazy.
Yeah, so it's I guess the summary sheet helps, but I'll text the summary too. So I'll say something like, offer, escalation, praise, whatever. Yeah. This is included. Buyer to or seller to cover, EBBC, whatever. And I've seen them. They're like, oh, we are only offering this. I was like, well, I got a signed PA saying you're offering more than that now. They're like, oh, okay. I actually had one. I had one agent she was like, well, I'm only making 2.5. I said,
that sucks.
Sucks to be you. I blame the lawyers. Like what do you want from me?
Well, no, in honesty,
blame her.
It's not even the lawyers. That's your own negotiating skills. And this is what I tell people when they want me to cut my commission. And I won't say what my commission is. Call me if you want to know. And I'll let you. Will you cut your commission? No, I'm not. I'm not going to cut my commission. If I'm willing to cut my commission in a 2-minute conversation with you, what do you think that agent's going to do?
How soon am I going to discount it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that agent that you're saying is going to do it at a discount. If they're willing to take their own money at a discount,
they're willing to discount their own money. Yeah.
They're going to discount your house a lot faster than they did their own.
Yep. Absolutely.
Let that sink in.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got.
Sorry about that.
You're okay. Yeah. Let me see.
That's a big problem that a lot of agents don't understand. It's we've got this. That's why we completely. I mean, at our office, we just decoupled it because it's negotiable. I don't care, and this is how I explain it to sellers too when they say it or when they complain, because some sellers complain too. If your house is worth $100,000, and that's assuming we're paying each side a set percent. Let's just call it 5 apples. What happens though if that buyer comes in and says, "Hey, I'll give you $120,000, but I want you to give 10 apples instead of 5 apples to my agent because I like him really, 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 really much." Seller, that nets you more money. Who cares, in the grand scheme of things, how much that agent's getting paid?
Well, yeah, but those commissions artificially inflate the housing market and the cost of housing. So
it still has to appraise.
It's all one big market.
I would agree.
But the appraisals are in on the deal too. So it's all one big racket.
The appraisers don't work for us. The appraisers work for the banks, and the banks.
It's everyone talks. They all know it's all one big racketeering event. Like people believe that. People legitimately believe.
Yeah.
They believe and. Has there been collusion in the past? Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, right? Like, they're in prison. Yeah, absolutely. So, people. I think people believe a lot of myths, right? And something that I think is important to understand is whatever story you believe, it's benefiting you some way. So what is that myth that you're believing that's benefiting you? Well, you're either scared to buy a house. You're scared to, you don't, for one reason or the other, you don't want to save up money for a house. You don't, whatever, but you're like, it's all a racket. I'm just going to continue to rent. Then, continue to rent. The cost of inaction there is exceptional, though. Like, the cost of inaction is every bit of a 6-figure decision, and probably a multiple 6-figure decision over 30 years. Let's go ahead and do some screen share. We're going to read into this post from a guy named Jerry Bobbitt. The industry sends a very loud signal. RE/MAX is one of the most recognized brands and has been absorbed by Real Brokerage in a deal valued around $550 million, closer to $880 million with debt. That's 145,000 agents acquired at about $3,800 to $6,000 per agent. That's not a growth story. That's a reset. And when a legal franchise that once dominated the market, them, the big hot air balloon, loses 90% of its stock. Is that true?
Yeah, from its high.
I was like, hold up. Okay. From its stock value gets rolled up, it raises questions. Where's stability? We know people who used to be in RE/MAX, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What is
RE/MAX?
What is,
at what time?
No. What is that?
RE/America.
No.
Yeah. What is?
I thought you
were my son.
Yeah, dude. I wasn't alive when you were doing. Maybe it was.
Well,
alive.
yeah, you were.
I was 2. Whatever. I don't know. I thought he was in some sort of.
So what is that? What's the real? Does this affect the consumer?
No.
Okay. So what's the real impact for this on obviously?
I think on a consumer level, it doesn't do anything. Honestly, even in the real estate industry as a whole, it was interesting to see who bought RE/MAX. Not that RE/MAX was sold. RE/MAX's way of doing business, it was antiquated.
Archaic.
It was. Back in the day. It was, so you have to remember, RE/MAX was started for agents that were the top tier of all agents. So
they did have a little bit of brand recognition.
Well, back in the day, they did.
The balloon,
right?
Yeah.
The red balloon. So, or red, white, and whatever.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah. So what Remax started off doing, I think, worked well. Like most concepts, right? In the beginning, they work, and then all of a sudden, they don't work. But what Remax was doing was taking an industry where agents were at a 50-50 split. End of discussion. Right, and I've talked about that. Back in the day, that's all brokers. Brokers made excellent money back in the day.
Yeah.
Not so much today.
Yep.
Now what ends up happening is, or when Remax comes into the mix, agents that were paying or making, say, $150,000, they were paying $75,000 of that to their broker. They were keeping $75,000. It was a 50-50 split. Remax comes in and says, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a brokerage that just takes, and I'm not joking, and this was early 90s, mid 90s, $2,000 a month rent for your office. And it goes up or down depending on whether it was a shared office or an office of 3 or, a private office. But now you're paying $24,000 a month plus phone, plus some print fees, plus some water fees, whatever. But at the end of the day, if I was paying my other broker $75,000, $35,000 isn't that bad, right?
They went the McDonald's model.
And so McDonald's. So Remax just charged a $500 yearly fee, but then you were at 100%. How's that wrong?
It's
on a franchise fee. The broker was charging you $2,000 a month. So that broker at a Remax was still making good money, but they weren't making as much money as
because they own
traditional.
They own the real estate.
Well, no, they own the franchise. So Remax was only making the $500 per agent. Mm-hmm. They didn't have a franchise fee. Mm-hmm. So they were just making money off of the agent, the $500.
The $2,000, the office
the
rent?
$2,000 was the agent's office rent to the local broker. Like, call me, the broker, right? So instead of me making a 50-50 off of you, making $75,000 a year off of a top agent, now I was only making 35 or 40. Oh, woe is me, right? But I was still making good money. So the Remax model worked for top tier agents because they were still paying less.
That's a way to attract top performers.
The other thing that happened was their signs, said, Remax, and then it would say Jerry Bobbitt, and then it would have a phone number. One thing that was included, depending on the broker, was a direct line. So that number in there, I would get all my leads. So again, I'm a top agent. I've got a lot of listings. Why should I lose my listings? I wasn't now. Or calls. When you call from my signs.
Elaborate on that though, because a lot and again, this isn't how it is anymore. But back in the day, expound on that because that's effectively. I mean, I remember I bought my first house 2013. Yeah. Even then, it was a Coldwell Banker brokerage, and there was there must have been 20 agents in this office in Plymouth.
Right, and that's why agents did what's quote unquote called floor time, right? From 9 to 12, whatever phone call comes in, I get them. Well, Dave's the biggest agent in my office. Dave's got 30 agents or 30 listings. Dave's not in the office because Dave's always out listing houses, right? I'd sit there as the lonely agent.
It's a good lead gen, bro.
Right? It was a great lead generation.
Yeah, that's a great lead gen. Right?
So Remax comes along and says, "Hey, Dave, why lose all those phone calls? We're going to give you a sign, and you're going to put your phone number on it, and then that phone would go to your direct line. So you're not losing leads now. Now you're making more money."
Yeah, sure.
So that was Remax's plan. Well, then the market crashes. And then agents aren't producing what they were.
Of course.
And so what does Remax have to do? They got to start making money somehow.
Yeah.
So Remax, then it starts incorporating a 5% franchise fee. So any new agent that comes in after that certain date now starts paying a franchise fee, just like your Century 21.
5% of the total commission.
Of gross commissions coming in. You make $100,000, they're taking $5,000. Okay. Yeah. Right? So they just start doing the traditional model now. And then brokers started changing just to fit a traditional brokerage just like everybody else. Yeah. So their model just started to, I don't want to say dilute, but it wasn't what it was.
Well, I've even seen that, as an agent, right? I know you and I talk. I mean, we just talked. We talked shop and business even before I was licensed, and I remember you were talking about the brokerage. What's going on here? Well, no, that's me. I gotta put my stuff, and I'm on Do Not Disturb. What's going on here? We talked about how a lot of brokerages are racing to the bottom, like because the margins are slimmer for the actual broker.
Oh, they're horrible. Yeah.
And they, and they're just like, well, and it becomes who can whore themselves out a little bit, and then and then it's like, how?
Oh, there were some that are horrible.
What level?
Right now.
I don't know. As I can only speak as an agent. To me, it's always. I'm not trying to squeeze the last. I'm not trying. Again, win-win, right? Cubby's habit, right? Like win-win. If what you're providing is I get the support I need and you can help, true, because to me that's really helpful. Like if I'm floundering and I'm getting no help, then anything I'm paying you is too much. And if it's $1 and you're not helping me, then it's I'm gonna question that $1. But if I'm like, hey, a phone call, a text, late night text, whatever, I try not to abuse it, but that's huge. To me, that's really huge value. And I understand I'm not Scott. I haven't been in the game for 20 years or whatever, but there's still a lot of huge value to that. Even navigating like that for sale by owner, I was like, hey, what, let me get, because there's the technical how to do the deal thing, and then there's the psychological, like, hey, how would you play this, dude? How would you? That's pretty valuable. But that requires that you talk. I've talked to agents and they haven't even seen their broker.
Oh,
the broker on record, like the actual,
they don't even know who it is.
They don't even know who it is.
And if you want to talk to them, you have to email them.
That's no.
Well, and good luck getting a response back. I think when Scott came over from, we'll just call it.
We still need to have him on if we get it.
It's the mornings.
I know, man.
We'll just call it XYZ.
Yeah.
When he come over from that XYZ platform where we have 3 brokers in the state, right? When he came over, I think I saved him, and you can ask him. It was over $20,000.
I remember you telling me the kid was like 25.
Yeah, it was like 24 for 25,000. And when he came over, I'm like, "What'd the broker say?" He was like, I emailed them, but that's been like 3 or 4 days now, and I haven't even heard back."
You're losing a top performing agent, and like you can't be bothered to email back. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well. Okay, so that's not going to affect, that's maybe a deeper look into the brokerage, the brokerage aspect of things. But that's also the, I don't know. I mean, I think because it really matters. When we say, I haven't had this, we'll call it an objection yet, but because, again, a lot of my clients, they just know me and how I operate. And strangely enough, when your yes means yes and your no means no, that's enough. That's enough for them. But they say how long you been doing this or whatever, I'm like, well, we got a lot of experience. I mean, a lot of experience and a lot of connection. I mean, Jerry, your network alone of like, hey, do you have, if I don't have a guy, do you have a inspector? Do you have a mechanic, right? Do you have an HVAC guy? Do you have it goes outside of more like the value add as agents and brokerages, everything pertaining around that home or that neighborhood. Hey, do you know a child care for my kids in the area, a really good one, or summer camp, right? Like so, or jiu-jitsu school. They that network.
I don't know if I got a summer camp right now.
Yeah, you do. You got one. You got to hook up. Yeah, I got you. You got to text Amanda. Like that network's super valuable. I want to go into. I want to dive a little bit into that data center clip. Dude, I've been seeing a lot of Van Buren listings coming up.
There's a lot of people ticked about it.
Berlin Township just had a meeting on that last night.
The data center?
Yeah.
A different one.
Turn it down again?
Honestly, I wasn't able to make the meeting, but I don't know what's going on there.
This guy's in Ohio. I think we would be friends. I think I would like this dude. Like I think we would be friends with him. I need to screen share again. And let me see. I'm going to grab this guy in, and we're going to get back. Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh, and to answer earlier questions, rain may affect Wi-Fi, but it's slightly.
Yeah.
Just go back to that.
Here we go. A clear, well-articulated argument against a new data center in Ohio.
Great. Thank you all for hearing me today. I'm not a cynic when it comes to technology. My love for it started when my uncle first sat me down at a beige Windows 95 computer and began teaching me HTML. I will never forget the first thing I Googled. It was an image search for pigs flying. I wanted to see if the internet could make the impossible real. This love of the digital shaped my career as I went on to become a programmer and a professional content creator. For the last decade and a half, I have been in service of learning burgeoning technology. In my last job, I was the digital artist they trusted to do that kind of work. I was the one feeding Midjourney prompts to create the perfect commercial, training the very machine that would eventually replace me, as 3 months later, they would lay me off.
Do you guys know what Midjourney is?
Yeah, the video.
Yeah, that's a pretty high. Like, he's a super nerd then. Like, if he was playing with Midge, I don't know how old this is, but he literally replaced himself with that.
I didn't just watch it happen. I was holding the tools when the tools were turned on me. I want to stress, I don't stand here as an enemy of progress. The thing is, when I look at the data center proposal, I don't see progress. I see a gamble where the big tech companies get the gold while Portage County foots the bill. Now, I know there are good faith arguments for this project. There are people in our community, informed, honest people, who will tell you that the modern data centers use what's called a closed-loop system. They say the water is filled once and recycled forever. In a laboratory, that might be true, but we aren't living in a laboratory. We're living in Ohio. I can tell you that as the chips get smaller and AI demands get larger, the heat these machines generate is outstripping the closed-loop theory. To keep the servers from melting, a data center has to bleed the lines to remove toxic sludge, aka forever chemicals, and bleeding water needs to be evaporated. It does not stay in the loop. It evaporates into the sky by millions of gallons.
So what does that do to your rainwater? You know, if you're evaporating toxic sludge into the sky, and then, you know, does that acid rain from?
The very place that laid me off was an organic mattress company. And while working for them, I actually learned a lot about forever chemicals. I got to see how the sausage gets made. I saw the inside of those so-called regulations. I saw how rigorous studies are often self-funded, a pay-to-play model where if you've got the cash, they'll give you the certificate. If a $1 trillion company is funding the study that says their forever chemical runoff won't hit our water table, they aren't giving us the science, they're giving us a sales pitch. We're told that we have to accept this because we need big employers. We're told that if we don't say yes, we're driving away the future. But that's a false choice. A big employer who uses the water of 50,000 people, which by the way is a combination of both Kent and Ravenna, only hires about 10 people, is not an employer. They are
I remember you saying that. Yeah, it's not even bringing jobs.
an extraction. We are being asked to fund a 21st century luxury with a 19th century resource heist. We are being asked to sacrifice the lifeblood of our city so a $1 trillion company can save a fraction of a cent on its margins. We are being asked to drain our reservoirs so a chatbot can write a poem or so our sheriff can generate a picture of himself standing next to Bigfoot. Which, by the way, of course, he made himself look taller. They want us to trust a $1 trillion industry that tells us with a straight face that they can suck 5 million gallons of water out of our ground a day, use it as a liquid heat sink, and return it to our rivers without a single consequence.
That's an incredible amount.
That's a huge amount
of water. 5 million gallons a day. So he goes on. I mean, I think it continues to go, but he pretty much says you're being sold a bill of goods. Is what he's saying. What is the? I was naive to a few weeks ago, a few months, even like our conversation. I didn't realize. I was like, oh, it's just a warehouse, dude. It's just a warehouse.
Yeah, a warehouse filled with computers.
A warehouse filled with computers.
That's it.
And you know what's? I mean, I think it's the.
You think your Mac gets hot? Imagine those computers.
Dude, well, and that's every time I think, because I do run Claude a lot, and it, like literally it's like, you know, I'm like, oh man, my thing's done. What's the future look like? I mean, because like you would have to. I was talking to another gentleman, Dr. Hines, really cool dude. He's like, oh, it's simple. Just stop using your phone.
That's what Jordan was joking about. He's like, stop getting on ChatGPT.
Stop eliminate the demand. But you can eliminate the demand.
You can't control. You can't control the millions of ignorant people who
it's out of the box.
Yeah, it's Pandora's box. Yeah. Exactly. It's a good. Yeah.
Well, because unfortunately, you've got how many people online teaching? Oh, AI this, AI this. I mean, there's some. I was just watching an ad, and kid you not, it was an ad for somebody to sell their course on how you can create a AI generated female for OnlyFans reasons.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah, and
he's like, oh, we've got 6,500 people doing this, and some of them have been doing it for years, making but cool. You're literally
synthetic AI pornography.
Yeah. And making but the even sadder thing is there's people paying for it.
What? Like, well, that's not. I mean, that's not hard to believe, because if you're addicted to porn, like you
need help.
Yeah. I mean, that's an addiction, right? It's not logical. What is crazy? I'm just picturing guys like these Greek philosophers, like they're just sitting around in these, and they're thinking about like what the future shall hold, and and if we continue to get, and you get you get these like Aristotle and them, and Plato, and they're like, it will be a place of a man, and no, we're making robot sex guys, that's the pinnacle. Like, you give the peak tools to the layman man, and this goes back to my thesis. Call me crude, call me arrogant. People are, it's so dumb. It's so, talk to the average person, and they're really, that's what you've chosen. That's what you've chosen to do with the tools at hand. That's what you've chosen. Someone will be on there.
It's bad,
dude. It's crazy. Well, and it's.
But it's everything. I mean, you could pick
I'm about to lash out, bro.
You can pick any topic and anything, and people are just dumb. They listen, and unfortunately, social media is a huge problem with that.
The far majority, of course. And, the majority. Yeah.
There's this one guy, he was trying to, again, teach people how to get leads for wholesaling. And he's like, oh, you go buy these SMS, mass texters, and get these, buy a number list and just text everybody. And I just reminded him, I said, well, how are you getting all of their written consensual permission first? Because if you don't, each time you send out a text, it's a $500 to $1,500 fine, because you can't.
That's sending out 1,000 texts.
So you can't send it out. He responded back with just laughing emojis.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so I'm trying to figure out how you do this, because I don't want to get fined. But I want the lead, so I was genuinely asking, but now I can just see you're just a slimy liar.
Well, it's ignorant. It's ignorance until it's not, and then once you've been informed, right? I
don't think he was ignorant.
Yeah. See, I
wasn't ignorant though. He was just trying to teach people, and that's what dude. I don't care if I don't do it, and I teach you how to do it, and you pay me to teach you how to do it.
How.
But I'm with you. I say that, and people get mad. I'm like, all right, are you ignorant or stupid? And sometimes I'm always like, you know what? I don't even need to know. I'll let you pick, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In 99% of it, it's not ignorance, it's stupidity. Yeah. Because once you've been told and you still continue down that path, now you've picked the second.
I was thinking of, I almost brought this reel up, but it was like her whole page. It was this lady, her shtick, she's a realtor, and she 3x her income in 18 months. And she's like, and I did it so me when I get and it's, how they overlay reels, because they're just entertainers, and it's like me getting ready to type when someone says I've been in the business 20 years, and she's like, yeah, just because you've been in the business 20 years doesn't mean, which is true, right? Yeah. But if as an agent and you 3x your income in 18 months, why are you selling me a $400 course? How many of me's do you need to close if you're truly making $250,000 a year on commission?
I see that all the time.
Why are you selling me a $400 quote? Comment below, and then her whole responses are chat bots. I'm like,
whatever.
That's what I always look them up, just because it irritates me.
Oh, you can look up what they do.
Well, yeah. Oh. I look up what they do, and one of them was one of those. You
closed 2 deals last year.
Well, that was it.
Oh,
you need to follow our course because we sold, and I think it was something like, and I'm not joking, 250 units we did last year. Our team is the greatest ever. Wah, wah, wah.
Can you look up any state or just Michigan?
Just Michigan.
I can look up just Michigan. However, there are ways that you can. So I looked them up, and there's 30 people on her team. Mm-hmm. And she did, and I'm not joking, when I figured it out, you averaged 4 units per person. Shut up.
There's a I think you looked her up. See, here's what's problematic to me, and I am seeing this. Here's what I'm seeing a lot. Like in terms of ROI, if you want to be some people, every now and then, meaning like 3 times a year, I'll have people be like, "Hey, is real estate worth getting into it?" I was like, "Bro, it's like anything else. Like you will not get new business by strictly posting a picture of a house or whatever on your Facebook. First off, a lot of people's Facebooks are dumpster fires, complete. It's like if on Monday you're complaining about something, and on Tuesday you're like, hey, let me sell your house. Like you're why I don't want to do business with you, right? Like, but then it's work and it's your network, and if you're not, you will get far more ROI for your energy going out talking. Like go to actual events. You and I talked about this. Get expensive people don't want to hear this. Get expensive hobbies. Right, go get a Detroit Athletic Club membership. Right. Get a jiu-jitsu membership. Go to you have a pilot's license.
I was getting my pilot license.
Yeah, you're getting your pilot. Like that's go.
Get a Corvette.
Go to the boat club. Get a Corvette. Yeah, like y'all have a club. Like
Downriver Corvette Club. And I'm not
joking. A lot of car clubs.
Yes.
I didn't think about that.
I got a meet coming up on Grozeal. They're expecting 300 Corvettes. 300.
That's pretty sick. So when
he's at a table.
Do you guys race?
No,
we don't race.
It's an event.
It's an event. No, it's just
they're just. So what do you do? Well, I do real estate.
I got a table. I'm sponsoring.
Dude, that's pretty sick. Yeah, see, man. I mean, like, but how much is the table? How do you pay?
$500.
That's so.
Honestly,
bro, come on.
He got so lucky. That's
a really cheap table.
Oh yeah,
that's a really cheap for a Corvette. I mean, what's the Corvette cost now?
A new Corvette?
A used one is like probably 40 grand.
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on there's series. I mean, it depends.
$40,000 to $400,000, depending on the Corvette that you want.
350, yeah. The new one.
There's this new one. It's sweet looking. The sticker on it was only like 2 something, but everybody marked it up to 300-400. But these things were monsters. But no, I always go back.
Well,
to
they're beating all your exotics.
Yeah, this one is.
That's pretty sick.
But yeah, I mean
that's pretty sick.
No, I mean mine does 0 to 60 in under 3.
Yeah,
that's scary. That's scary. That's scary. But get expensive hobbies, right? So if you can't afford a Corvette, you could still get in with. It's local shoulder-to-shoulder networking. Jordan, we cut you off about 7 times.
No,
finish your thought.
I would say going back to the classes, anytime someone is selling a class or a course, you're a scam. I don't care what you did in your past, you're a scam. That's just my 2 cents. Because I'm
not gonna paint it as broad of a brush.
I don't want to say as broad of a brush,
but it does raise questions, right? Like, and my personal favorite is I use the same framework I used to scale several businesses across several industries to get to 7 figures. And this is only $3,000. Think about that. So you have several multi-million-dollar companies. And what percentage is a $3,000 course? Like a rounding error? It's a fraction of 1%? Like, tell me, Mr. Whoever you are, why are you doing this? And I swear, if you throw in the word you want to give back, I'm coming through the screen and I'm reaching. Yeah. Well, I want to give back.
I mean, you've got people, I won't mention their names, like Grant Cardone, who...
I won't mention their names.
Or Richard.
Yeah, that kid, yeah. Well, for Grant, 10 years ago, it was... Buy. Real estate's the best. Real estate's the best. Real estate's the best. You go listen to any of his things now. It's rent. You need to rent. Buying is a scam. Why? Because he wants to keep you in his rentals. And he sells his course for thousands of dollars. He gets people in. You can't get out. And that's why I say scams. Because look, if you're selling something for $5,000 and it works for 2% of the people.
A lot of that is just effort, right?
Well, true. Yeah. Some of it.
Well, no.
I would say, yeah.
If only 2% of the people get the results you're saying, those 2% we're probably gonna get there regardless.
Yeah. It's like.
I mean, right? I mean, like if you're in the 2%, you're in the 2%. You didn't. What you paid didn't get you there.
Yeah. I just don't like the class.
So I thought about bringing her up. I was like, I don't really. am I trying to start fires on a Tuesday? You know, am I trying to get like call this chick up? But people can't see through that. They see here's
it goes back to most people aren't as bright as they think they are.
Here's the thought process, man. They see here is the power of social proof is what I'll add. They see flashy Instagram page. You're not a terribly looking woman, right? If you're a 2, it's probably not going to work out for you. You need to do something about that, right? But or
who are you to judge?
Or build. I got eyes, right? like so I can tell someone who's different. But or build an AI agent. I've actually seen that avatar. Hey, perform better ads with our female AI, whatever. I was like, yeah. They see, oh, she's got 100,000 Instagram followers, and this video has so many likes. So a lot of other people, oh, and it's got so many comments.
Must be true.
Must be in demand, right? Like, and that's the difference, right? And so, yeah, it's just it's a manipulation of human behavior that is pretty much as old as like humans have been around.
She's a top sales girl. Can you see why? Oh, she's just some salesperson who sells a course. Can you see why she's really good at sales?
What is she? She
just sells. Just teach people how to sales.
Her? Your sales mama, CEO.
I don't know. I don't really care.
She sells Academy. I teach women.
Yeah, she's a woman.
Remote high ticket sales.
She makes crazy money just off her courses. But go back to like we were saying, Richard too.
Let's see.
He's up to 9,000 people paying $20 a month.
Hang on.
In his course.
Every parent wants their daughter to marry a CEO, so I became the effing CEO.
I just know she's a big salesperson. I don't really know what her content is.
You know, I thought about doing one of these is like, I thought about doing one of these. There you go. Of like one of those collage videos, but it's all fake. And like be like, yeah, so if you want 6 figures like me, and go lean on Jerry's Corvette, and be like, you want 6 figures like me, and then go in front of like,
well, you know a lot of people do that.
You know, a lot of people are taking ads in front of Hormozy's building.
Yeah,
his acquisition.com. They're like, hey, you want to scale your? What is the correlation? Did you buy into acquisition?
Are you talking about that Corvette guy?
Yeah. I was going to say.
So there is a guy that's in one of my Facebook pages with the Corvettes. He's a 21-year-old guy.
Kid.
Bought go find a parking lot.
No.
Even worse.
He bought a Corvette with credit cards, and he's proud of it. So he's got like a credit card deck of credit cards. He takes his picture with them, with his Corvette. I'm an entrepreneur. I paid cash. You didn't pay cash. You put it on credit. Paid cash for my Corvette, and he takes a picture with his Corvette. No joke. So
that's what a lot of these people do.
Why wouldn't it'd probably be cheaper to finance it, right? If you're gonna
he couldn't get the financing.
Yeah, he doesn't make enough money.
He doesn't qualify.
So thank goodness to
guys, I'm gonna crash
to a wonderful.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna cost me my license here. And if
I have this wonderful app that I. Well, first
you abuse that app for the
shut up.
Like you abuse like every time. I'm like, bro.
We're not saying the app.
If Jerry,
don't say the name.
Can't. I was like, if Jerry drops your record, like you have.
Well, I did that to somebody.
So in his,
I use it a lot.
In his have his real name, but he has the name of his company. This whatever you want to call it, financial company.
Please tell me he's selling a course. Please tell me he's selling a course.
No, he does. I don't know. Probably. I honestly don't know what he does. But anyways, he's got the name of the company, and through some research, I'd have to find it out.
He's not. Okay.
It was like
keep going.
It was like Samir Huzzy or something. I don't know. And no joke. It was like Huzzy. I think is what the. Anyways, it was like the name of the name was in the company. So I go to the state that he lives in, and I find the state list of LLCs. So I type it in. I find it wasn't the name that he has on his profile.
Of course.
So then I use my handy dandy app, and I find him, and I find that he doesn't even.
How'd you look? You looked him up by name or by phone number?
By name, because it had his legal name on the LLC as the owner of the LLC.
Okay.
So once I did that, then I was going to say the name of the app. Then I used my handy dandy app, and found him.
Is this it? Or is this a different one?
Yep. But that's what he was doing. So maybe. What's the name of the company?
Tito Jasso.
Yeah, that's him.
Tito. How do you confuse Tito Jasso for Samir Hassan?
Yeah. I didn't say Hassan.
Okay,
I said Huzzy.
Huzzy. Okay. Oklahoma City. Tito's Solution. All right. Wait.
So
here's what we got.
Yeah. So his real name. Okay. So I go to the state. I find out who the owner is. Then I find him, and then dude lives with his mommy and daddy, and he doesn't even own the Corvette. So I don't know what he's doing, and I called him out. You might see my post underneath.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's him.
There.
Yes, little stud.
Oh, young kid. Let's see. New Corvette at 21.
Look at comments.
Had to crystallize the vision. God, lowercase, showed me.
You'd be surprised.
Dude, this is 100. Yeah, see, this is like you got boss. There's no way. Homeboy with 272 friends has 188 likes and comments. So those are bots. And this is, I'm just gonna. This is how you audit someone's page. For the record, some of the highest actual performers I know don't have a lot of huge social clout.
Okay,
right?
so let me just tell you one thing.
Okay.
If you look at those, blow up those credit cards. I'm not trying to be pompous when I say this, but none of my cards are green or blue or brown.
There's an Amex here. This looks like an Amex one. I can't see. Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's all crystal.
I mean, listen, all of mine are black, and I'm not trying to be a jerk.
Okay, all right.
But that's why he needed 30 credit cards instead of just one.
Well, guys, can you buy a C8? For 55 grand. This isn't a super. You can buy a C8 for 55K. This isn't a super exotic car. That's out of reach. Let's see if Jerry's made it. Tenant paid for. Oh, that's a cool one. Yeah, the vision God showed me is the borrower is slave to the lender. Proverbs 22:7. God would want you to pay cash. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Most of the people are ripping on him.
This is enough internet for me for the day.
Most people are not.
And he's got Tito Solutions.
And if you look what he's done, he's absolutely done nothing. There's no
Sensei. Help build businesses secure 50K plus in credit cards for 0 APR. I think I'm done.
Yeah. This is where I wish more people were smart enough to see through the bullcrap.
I don't know, man.
And I was like, dude, trust me, God did not tell you to go buy something on credit.
Well, lowercase God might have. His God might have. Whoever his God is.
But yeah, no, there's people all on social media. They go finance fancy cars. They go rent an apartment and act like it's theirs. And in Miami, and look at me, I'm in this big suite, and that's why you need to follow me.
I've actually seen where they take a room like this and they put
a green screen.
No. They put airplane seats to make it look like you're in a private jet, and you can rent the room by the hour so you can do your social media posts like you're on your own jet.
And people fall for it.
I'm good.
You haven't seen it?
That is. So you're telling? I just want to make sure I understand. You have staged in front an office to appear like the interior of a private jet.
Yes.
That's too much. If you want, you got a couple extra rooms.
That's.
You got a room.
I do actually, and you know what? For you today, high roller, $500 an hour.
We're gonna do a private jet, and then we're gonna have like a beach backdrop. Or no, we're gonna do like a skyline backdrop.
So wait a second. That actually.
But that's what these people do.
That's kind of crazy.
It's all fake.
It's like
it's all fake.
It's like the guy, like when everyone's chasing the gold, be the guys selling the shovels. If you're like, hey, if there's demand and people want these things, that is ridiculous. I need to see it. What does the ad for that look like?
I'm going to see if I can find it right
now. I want to rent a room that looks like the interior of a private jet. All right, let's see what we got. Influencers reportedly renting. Oh, I got to see it. So, and how I'm going to tie this and justify this ending up on the Keeping It Real Estate podcast is be careful of the super flashy Realty. Here we go.
Oh, there's so many realtors, wholesalers, fill in the blank.
This is brought to you by this bag, I guess. I don't know.
Influencers in the U.S. are being exposed for renting out a that looks like a private jet for their Instagram pics, okay? It happened when a Twitter user, Mason Melissa, tweeted out the photos and a link and says it's crazy that anything you're looking at could be fake. The setting, the clothes, the body, I don't know, it just kind of shakes my reality a bit. Some people did some digging up. The photo studio is available to rent on PeerSpace. So for $64 an hour, like this is a real thing. So for $64 an hour, up to 10 people can take all the photos and all the TikToks, their little heart fires in this studio that you're seeing.
$64 an hour. That's pretty cheap.
I don't know, Lauren.
Like
what is
to me, I'm gonna make you pay for being an idiot, right? Like if you're because obviously you're selling something.
Has the influencer life gone a little too far?
Well, I gotta be
honest. No, the answer is yes, not well. The answer is yes. The answer. All right. Well, what else we got? Because give me something. Give me something positive. What about this $20,000 grants? Okay,
yeah.
like the launch program. That's a valuable. Like I've sent out. So there are income limits actually to that though. I didn't realize. Like
I figure they would be.
Yeah,
I was more mad that it can't do multifamily though.
Yeah,
that's what I want because I wanted a multifamily.
You want a house hack,
and
if you do it, you can sell a course.
I should. But yeah, no, it doesn't work for multifamily, which I was kind of bummed on because I mean that's what I want. Yeah. And it's $20,000 of free money, but
can you get a loan through like a DSCR loan? What do they require down? What percent? 20 usually. Even for a DSCR. Oh wow.
You can sometimes get away with 15%.
Really?
But it's usually
that was the whole thing about DSCRs. You could
DSRs they don't care what you make.
Oh, I see.
So we don't look at your income. I mean, we just what's it renting out for?
Interesting.
Oh, it's renting out for that much money. Okay, then cool. Yeah, you can get the loan.
Interesting.
So yeah, DSCR works for investors who, hey, I've got the cash. I may not be able to really show it, but I want to go buy this investment property.
Interesting.
Well, I can keep it going. They don't care. And sometimes
what is the coverage ratio? What do they need?
What do you mean?
Like what do they need to you had what is the how much does the rent need to cover over what the mortgage will be?
Each one is going to be a little bit different, but most of the time it's I want to say usually
I'm going to go run some water through the data center. What is the DSCR ratio necessary for an investment single family in Michigan? And again, DSCR means debt service coverage ratio. So if you minimum is 1.
That's what I thought. I thought it was I didn't think it was. I thought it was as long as the rental covered it. Well, you have to remember though.
Strong deals 1.2 to 1.2.
Yeah. You have to remember though too. You just put 20% down. So even
I see. Okay.
Even if you walk away right away, I've already got 20% of equity.
Yeah, they got some skin in the game. Yeah, I guess. All right. Well, the launch program is $20,000. There are some income requirements. Your credit needs to be, probably 650 at least for this. But it's a grant that if you're in the house for at least 3 years,
it's only 3.
It's forgiven. I think it's 3. Yeah.
Usually it's 5. That's why I didn't know if it was only 3.
It might be 5.
3, 5.
Talk to the lender. I got the lender for you.
Asterisk.
I'll put you. Yeah. See, I'm the agent, right? But that's it, you guys. So comment if you have any questions. If you stuck with us through our rant on the fake social media age we live in, we appreciate you. If you didn't, I don't blame you either. So Synergy Realty Group, we're out of Woodhaven, commercial and residential. As always, we'll see you guys next week.